Hi guys, maybe you've seen it. I started making a series. So Super F7, let's start by running ArcoNet and installing the next desktop. We've explained lots of things. Let's do that first. Voila. And then we go to Brave. There's so many browsers you can choose, right? So have a look at the possibilities. Down here we have in the release page, so in the start here, releases 2024, you'll find the release of July. We started making a playlist. Well, the playlist is there, but we're adding every single time a desktop. So the last desktop I've made was Plasma, the full installation, all the meta packages. We're talking about meta packages, group packages. In the previous video there, we were installing Plasma again, but then a minimal installation with ArcoNet. And the advice was, guys, if you want Plasma, use Arco Plasma, right? And then we have here Open Box, where we talk about Arch Labs, the beginning, the first steps, my first steps of building an ISO with the ISO of Arch Labs, which was just Open Box. Later I introduced i3 because I loved i3 back then, 7 years ago, 8 years ago maybe already. And then later on Arch Merge, ArcoLinux. So a little bit of history here. And here we have Nimdo. And do you know that we have remove scripts, right? So many of these things explain or go over the ArcoNet installation, the ISO. But each time there is something else I'd like to explain. So have a look at this playlist. So here it is, the playlist. Of course, you can find it on YouTube and then go to playlists on our channel. But okay, right? This is maybe easier. Just go to basically home, and this is the release article for July. So just ArcoLinux info release article. And then you have the playlist and bookmark it maybe, right? Because I'll make more videos. We are now at the advanced installation online. Remember, here is some information about the 3 ISOs. Basically, we're doing this long line here. ArcoNet Advanced, XFC is out. You select the desktop. Any app that's already on here will stay on here. What you see is what you get, but you can select much more. That's what Calamares is for. And if you want less, you type make a script and type sudo pacman -r or rs. No idea what to select. Grub is always gonna be good. It's graphical, it's nice, it has been there for years. Next. So in each video I sometimes talk about these choices up here, but normally I would just skip them. And then that's the last thing we've made. So we are 4 videos down, and then we have everything documented with ArcoNet Advanced. Qtile, yeah, there is something to talk about Qtile, but let's first open this up. So in the beginning I would say just use our selection. This is a selection of packages that will be moved from A to B. Well, in this case, downloaded, installed, and voila. But there might be packages in here that you say don't want those anymore or don't like that particular package, etc. Right? That's fine-tuning, but we can do that later as well. Sudo pacman -rs and just click here the button and say I'll do the fine-tuning myself, the cherry picking myself later on. Get rid of that if it exists, get rid of that if it exists, and so on. So lots of apps that are free, we build it for you. Some of them are from ArcoLinux, and most of them are actually from our repo, the ArcoLinux repo. We build them for you, but we have not developed them, right? We're not responsible for them. Choose your keyboards, erase the disk, or replace a partition. If you say I want to keep one of them, maybe something you can do, X4, I'm just gonna go for erase. And no swap, it's okay, right? We've done all these in all these videos, the installation videos. I've selected something. Oh, let's take JFS, right? No Hibernate. You select and decide over time that was actually working and had no issue with it, etc., right? And ask artificial intelligence, Google around, DuckDuckGo around, what's the difference between all these things? What is recommended by people, right? If you want to know my choice, it's gonna be always ext4. Off we go. I wait till I see that everything is partitioned, and we're seeing this. If we're seeing this, it's all partitioned, and we're gonna rsync, we're gonna copy paste the code from A to B. So that's done. I move to another screen, another desktop, Ctrl-Alt-F. Firefox is there, Ctrl-Alt-V, Vivaldi, if installed, Ctrl-Alt-V. There are lots of key bindings. And why is that? Yeah, probably because my background is i3, an open box, right? Arch Labs in the beginning. Before Arch Labs, I was also working on i3. It was a little bit of love and hate, because installing i3 on Arch, you get a black screen. Maybe the bar at the bottom, that's it. Right mouse click, no menus, there's nothing. So that was really tough to start, but once the config is there, that's the advantage that ArcoLinux provides. We provide configs that work, and then it's up to you to make the changes, but you put into something that's nice, appealing, and has a lot of, there we are, keyboard shortcuts. So XFCE has them too, because of the fact that, right, i3 open box, that's the background from me, right? So keyboard is here, shortcuts are here. Look at that. So this is the keypad. This is the separate numeric keypad. Control, Alt, Enter. Just making sure that that Enter worked as well. Like Control, Alt, Return. The other one, the big chunk next to the letters. So these guys are all here. There are lots and lots of key bindings in here that other do not have, right? Super escape, super, that's the Windows key, escape, and then we have this thing. Depending on the theme, it's going to be a red skull or something else. When I click now, it touches this application and it kills it. That's interesting for things that linger, that stay on there, and you want to get rid of them, and I say I can't close it, super, escape, kill, right? So that's interesting. Now Qtile. So does the key binding, the keyboard shortcuts, they're all there. Many desktops we have it, and certainly on the tiling window managers. Qtile, enter, translate, accept, voila. So Qtile.org, certainly the place to be. Of course, there is arcolinux-d.com, and of course there is archwiki Qtile. These three should be your, well, starting websites. Maybe you should start here with this one. So at the beginning, and this would be my choice. Read this. There's Qtile, there's also a Git version, so AOR means you need to build it. This means, if your brain says yay, or Paru, or Trizen, or any other AOR helper. And if you want to know what an AOR helper is, archwiki AOR helper. That works, right? Archwiki AOR helpers. So there are quite a few. The Pacman wrappers, Aura, Aurman, Pakaur, Paku, Paru, Trizen, yay. Okay, so choices, as always. We have two of them. If one fails, the other one works. But if AOR is down, is this website, if the package builds were, if the server where the package builds are, is down, yeah, of course Paru won't work, and of course Yay won't work. You can't download the recipe. Basically, that's what it is, a package build. You can't cook without a recipe. So you go read what all this means. Probably going to move also to Wayland. Not that it works on my computers here, but we'll see how the evolution goes. So everybody's trying to figure out Wayland and how to work with Wayland, and voila, there are group rules and stuff like that. Screens, bars, widget, polybar is here as the main bar. Import this, import that. Maybe you know or you don't, but basically I'm a teacher at a university, and one of the things that is of course interesting and a good advice for students who are learning applied informatics or some kind of study related to informatica or informatics. This is Python. This is interesting. If you have this as a mandatory course, learn how to use Python, well, yeah, then this is not a bad idea to have as a desktop. Then you can combine hobby and what you need to learn, like this import OS things and import subprocess and learn, go import this from there, etc. You kind of learn Python by playing, right? So that's not a bad idea. Quick look at this one. Caught my attention 10 years ago, 9 months ago. So do check out if it's a while. If it's too old, might be. That is not interesting. So Qtile website, that's the one we found already. Official documentation, also interesting. Everything you need to know about Qtile. IRC, if you're really interested, Discord, you can follow the guys and ask questions. I have this and I have that, because I'm not the developer of Qtile, not in a long shot. So it's just us playing around as end users. What is Qtile? And let's make a config that works. And then it's up to you. You change the config any way you see fit. You break it. You can't go in. You type skel. What is skel? Skel is something that we... Well, let's see if this works. Yeah. Skel can be a blessing. Can be a blessing or a curse. So that's a good thing. Updating your system. This is indeed the page. Qtile is broken, but when I type skel, the content of etc skel is copy pasted over to the Qtile config, and suddenly it works again. And yes, your old code is not gone. There's a backup of your old skel, of your old Qtile config, and you go and see, oh, I forgot a comma or a semicolon. Yeah, it really is tricky, and you lose a lot of time just with typos already. So skel is certainly interesting if you work with, if you really are looking into changing things. There are some hooks and widgets and layouts, things you want to change. So have a look. That's super interesting. In the meantime, let's have a look here. We are done. Let's go to the other, to actually Qtile. So resources. I did not look at the ArcoLinux D, so let's go for that one as well. I've edited a whole afternoon. I've been editing all the articles of ArcoLinux D and adding the sources at the top. So a Ctrl-Alt-F. Let's get rid of a few things. Super C. And if we go to arcolinux-d.com, then you'll see I've been trying to make, well, not trying, I've succeeded, that we should accept everything. Let's make this, maybe we should, yeah, we can still get there. Here are all the links. So each of these desktops that you can learn, those are the phases, meaning from simple to more complex, and just alphabetically here, I think, yep. And then more to the tiling window manager guys, to the desktop guys that are not so well known, and then the Wayland guys, right? So here we have information, but of course here as well. So 24 articles or 25 articles just about Qtile. And as you see, Distrotube has code. He makes videos and sometimes he shows his desktop, and it's Qtile, his version of it. And that's the thing. Again, we provide a template. It works. It might be not to your liking, and then you go change things, right? You go change things. But if you start already with this basic, these articles here, then you know already a lot about Qtile. And then you move on. You find another resource and figure out what else, where else you can learn things. Okay. So making this bigger might be one of the things. One of the things I do is read. If you're not into reading, you're probably not, you shouldn't use a tiling window manager, because you need to read the code. Qtile, right? This one, boom, you need to read all of it. This is the config, and you're gonna import OS, a library, RE, socket, subprocess, etc. And from time to time they change something. I think we had to change this line just a month ago or something like that. So here's everything that's declared. I'm not going into the technical bits here, just showing you that, hey, we have already here again, right, in this desktop again, we have this AZERTY QWERTY issue, for me anyway. So the guys that have an AZERTY keyboard, they need to copy paste this code into this thing, because this will not be used, these two guys. So basically for QWERTY you have a backup, right? You go mess with the code, but this is your backup. And if you compare, this is the compare button, but we try to be minimal and bare and all that. So that means you need to do some work. Melt is not installed by default. It is now. So right mouse click, melt. And then you see files are identical. And what is the difference then between AZERTY and QWERTY? That's this code. Super F, full screen. So our group names are, this thing is hashtagged out, QWERTY keyboards. Our group names are ampersand, accent, acute, quote double, apostrophe, etc. Right? So these things are actually the things I see on my keyboard. They are there, I mean, right? That's the difference. And all the rest is the same. We keep the same numbering here, the design, the icons, but it's this thing that's the problem. So we need to have that if you want to go to Super 1, Super 2, Super 3, right? So Windows key 1, 2, 3 is gonna do this. This is Super 2, Super 3. It's not working here, but I can click, of course, but that's not the point. In systems like these, you need to, well, stay away from the mouse basically, and everything is keyboard driven. Voila, that's your Qtile. What I would like to end with as well, it's a good test for me, is sudo pacman -s ArcoLinux, and then let's start with a Q. Tap, 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 3 taps. So we have Qt5 git, that's not the thing, Qtile. So let's do another I. Well, these 3, that's not important. So these 3, we have Distrotube, we have dots, and we have this one. This one is what you're looking at. If you say, Eric is talking about Distrotube all the time, dots is from Distrotube, but older. Let's say 2 years or something like that ago. Right, but if you want to have a look at another code to learn, to compare between these 3, we have 3 variants, Qtile 1, Qtile 2, Qtile 3, right? Then you need to remove one with the other. So if you want to compare, you better do a copy. So this Qtile, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, is the Arco one. Okay, now we've copied. This one I'm gonna remove, just to be sure it's really gone. Okay, and then we say, let's replace Qtile git with the dots git. So that's the old one. Let's call it later on distro old or something, and distro new. Yes. Now where is it copied? It's copied. We tell you where it's copied. It's here. So that means I need to type skel. Yes, please. And here again is the link to explaining what is skel. So I did a copy paste. That means Qtile is back. Control C, Control V. That's the dots, the Distrotube, so DT alt, okay, or dots maybe. That's one, and the other one is another one. Let's maybe make copies so we can compare. So this is Qtile dots, and this is Distrotube git. Again, same process. Why not remove things? This one is red. This is not red. This is not red. This one is red. Delete. Yes, please. The other one is removed. Where is it removed? In etc skel. Then we skel this thing. Yes, please. So this is Qtile, Control C, Control V. How do we call that one? Okay, so Distrotube longer. This is the long thing. The other one is the dots. So if I reboot, I'm gonna see the package Distrotube. I'm gonna see the package Qtile Distrotube kit. So super X, log out, and log in. This might be something you like to look at. Sometimes these things are clickable. Left click, right click, test them all. Nothing changes. Okay. Let's get back to the sudo pacman keyboard. Right. Make sure everything is set right. Sudo pacman -s arcolinux qtile the dots one. Haven't seen that yet. Voila. Yes, please. Yes, please. Skel. Yes, please. And then log out. They're trying, right? They're trying. So it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Simple as that. Wait for them to develop it more. There is this look, but it doesn't look normal. I don't think this is the normal look. Should be the normal look. So let's see if we can get to something. We cannot really get to terminals like this. Maybe that's possible. Okay, Thunar. No. Default config, press MR. Shut down. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And that one works. I don't think this is the actual dots file, so not sure. Right control F1, F2. We're in TTY, so sometimes you need to get to know your commands. Sudo pacman -s arcolinux Distrotube, or let's see something. Let's see if we can do this. Remove me recursively the .config. Yes, .config Qtile, the folder. Okay, and list me then what's inside config. Qtile is alphabetically, it's gone. Okay, then I do a skel, so there's no sudo reboot, then there's no conflicts or some code that stays around from the other three. There are 3 things. Let's see if the dots is still working. If it's not working, we should just get rid of it. We can't maintain all of the packages, right? So the last one is Distrotube. That's the one that he's using probably right now. So yes, it's a no-brainer. This one needs to go. We're not going to work on the old code. We have enough to maintain. Sudo pacman -s ArcoLinux Distrotube. Oh, Qtile Distrotube. And maybe we can make a new video, Distrotube Git, and show you how it's done, these packages. So, do we have memory here? Yes, remove config Qtile, voila. And Haskell again. Sure, go. Be patient. I am always patient. I'm a teacher. It goes with the job. Goes with the territory. And then we come home and then we're super impatient. Nah, it's okay. Voila, so let's keep this one as the default one, and let's remove the others. That means, how long is the video? 26 minutes. So we've got ourselves a desktop, and it's called Qtile-dots, this one, right? So deleting is simple, making is a lot longer than deleting. Qtile-dots by UR. Then the package build for the desktop Qtile-dots is gone as well. That's easy. And then the repo contains the package Qtile Arco. Yeah, let's just scroll down. ArcoLinux Qtile-dots. Here they are. Distrotube dots. Delete, and we put it online. Ooh. We put it online with an up, and ArcoLinux Qtile-dots does not exist anymore. It's gone, and here as well, ArcoLinux Qtile-dots, Qtile-dots. Where are you? It's not even there. No, it isn't. Or is it somewhere else? Desktop. Qtile-dots. This one is no longer there. Safe. Voila. So when you type now sudo pacman, so first of all update, right? Get the new databases in, and then he'll see that the database is out, right? That the package is no longer in the database. So -s ArcoLinux Qtile, and we have these guys, right? And that's it, Distrotube and Qtile. So one difference. And the next video we're gonna make, and I'll have a look at the config, the dot file of Distrotube, dotfiles Distrotube. I did do yesterday a git pull, so today everything is okay, but things did change. He has changed code, so setup 6 Zook site, whatever it is, and so Derek Taylor, that's the name from well, the channel Distrotube, and we can have a look. This is Emacs stuff. We're not interested in Emacs, nor in Polybar, nor in Center New RASI, but if there's anything Qtile related, we kind of want to see and follow a little bit with within margin, within yeah, needs still to fit into the look and feel of ArcoLinux. Here are all fish things. So learning about dot files of somebody else is interesting, because then you see, he's using that kind of application maybe, or configuration, and by comparison is how I've learned to make ISOs, how I've learned everything on ArcoLinux by comparison. And I get it. In the beginning, the code is just gibberish, right? You don't get it. And then the second time, you get a little bit more. The third time, you get a little bit more. So these man pages, these ArchWiki pages, you read it 20, 30, 40, 50 times, and each time you'll get a little bit more. So here is a config py, you see? So we changed to Brave. It was Firefox, so the red thing is out and the green thing is in. So at some point in time, he said, super D, right? Let's go to Brave. That's this guy. Look at the amount of trackers and bandwidth saved. So sure, it's all about choices all the time. It's all the time about choices. And whether you want a certain key binding to do something, well, yeah. Again, all about choices. The colors, there are so many colors you can use. Choose. Where are we? Here. So voila, but that is something we'll do in the next video or so. Maybe I'll just finish the desktops first and then play around with Qtile from Distrotube. All right, cheers.